You know, I don't think you realize that I put a sticky bomb on that thing.
Oh my god, you dick! You fucking...
They're mad at me! They're mad at me because I destroyed it!
Hey guys, Matt Money here, and welcome back to Plastic Instruments Monthly. I know we're still a little behind schedule here, but we should be good from here on out. As for this month, you already know, we've got accomplishments, customs, and some new faces to boot. Personally, I say we stop wasting time and jump right into the song releases this month, starting out with South. South had a pretty busy month this past February, dropping 4 different times with Launched Towards the Sun, Final Showdown, Snowtop VGH Uber Solo, and a fresh remaster for Doors of Insanity. Launch Towards the Sun is an absolutely insane passing challenge style of chart, with strumming and tapping that both far exceed what most people are capable of. But I'm sure someone out there will prove me wrong now, because I've said that. Final Showdown is much easier, but still no slouch on difficulty overall, clocking in at a respectable 8-minute runtime and full band charts to boot. There is plenty to sink your teeth into here. Snowtop VGH Uber Solo is about what you would expect from the title, an Uber Solo from an already existing VGH. 38 seconds of grade 6 tapping according to the description. Sure. Finally, the Doors of Insanity 2025 remaster, which does make changes to the underlying chart as well as to the audio, but it also includes an underchart and a YARG anti-ghost friendly chart too. Pretty neat. There was one other artist this month who dropped like this, and it's a new name for PIM, not Subby Dude. The guy used to make GH3 PC customs way back in the day, but it seems they're back to remaster some of their old work for Clone Hero. Fuchsia, Hyperspeed, Mad Party, and Starbit. These 4 songs offer a fairly approachable difficulty and length, making them great for beginner players, warm-up, or just when you want to relax and play something easier. Overall, cool to see such an old name back, even if only briefly. Moving on now, we have a name you should all be pretty familiar with by now, Wasted CH. They dropped Distractions and Symphony No. 10, a sequel to their previous work, My Ninth Symphony. It's your standard Wasted CH affair overall, dark, brooding, somewhat industrial feeling, coated in as much reverb as it is tapping patterns. Distractions is interesting on the other hand, given that, technically speaking, it's an overchart. Wasted themselves confirmed this, hinting at a potential VGH version of the song in the future. With that same reverby feel, but more of a rock-focused instrumentation, I think the song is pretty neat. Feel free to give it a download. For another familiar name, we have Thingerthing. She dropped My Demise and My Demise Plus Plus, offering 2 different difficulty takes on the song, which itself was inspired by tracks like Illogical and No Tomorrows by Jarvis and Demons 2 by Sparky. On top of that, an entire 3-song EP, The Summit. The whole thing has this great, uplifting, energetic feel, with charts sure to challenge even experienced players. If that's too much, however, there are hard charts included. Overall, both The Summit and each version of My Demise are songs I highly recommend downloading. Seriously awesome work this month, Thinger. Winding down a bit now, we have another new name for these videos, So Creative. He's the lead singer and guitarist for his band Interim, and it seems he saw fit to chart their debut single from their album, Derealized. It's pretty different from the things I tend to cover here, but it's nonetheless a breath of fresh air to see something like this. The song itself isn't anything too difficult, 5 minutes of straightforward console charting, but goddamn, the song sounds great. I wish you and your band the best of luck in future endeavors, Creative. Keep the charts coming. I want more, damn it. And finally, let's wrap up the segment with a familiar song from a familiar name. 10 years ago now, Exile Lord released Solace 4, a song that, honestly, I feel remiss to really write about in the script here. I mean, come on, it's Solace 4. What else really needs to be said? What else can be said? Anywho, 3 had the idea to remix this absolutely classic song, even going as far as to modify the chart in a few sections. Overall, it's cool to see a fresh take on such an iconic track, and it's hard for me to think of someone more fitting to take on the job than 3. Great work, man. And with that, we're done for February. Pretty crazy, huh? A lot of releases, some familiar faces, and some new names too. I love seeing it. As always, links to downloads are down in the description down below. This is Matt Money, signing off.
What up everyone? My name is MattJJ_, and I'll be taking you through the accomplishments for February. Even though it is the shortest month of the year, February was still pretty stacked, so let's jump straight in. We'll start off with one we missed from January, and embarrassingly, it was from one of our own editors. Mirage Luna finally FC'd Solus 3 last month, one that she'd been grinding for months now, so congrats to her for finally getting it. Now on to February's accomplishments, and what a better way to do it than to kick it off with Objection CH, who FC'd the mighty Rio Grande. This 11-minute behemoth of stamina strumming is the longest song off of This Will Destroy You self-titled album, and is a really impressive feat. He also FC'd Rolling in the Strum, a strum chart of Rolling in the Deep by Adele, rounding out an impressive return to accomplishments this month. Continuing on the strum train, we have our goat Ania. He had 4 crazy FCs this month, with an FC of the Painter at 120% speed being the main one. On top of that, he had his usual collection of 21 plus note per second strumming section FCs, with Thought and Memory Outro at 130, The Shrouded Grief strumming C through H at 110, and So Begins strumming D through E. An absolutely outstanding showing from Ania as usual. And we obviously can't ignore Untalented, who has been proving his username is bullshit lately. He finally FC'd Soldier Side at the start of the month after a brutally long grind. This notorious chart has multiple 21 notes per second sections, some up to 750 notes long, and only the best have managed to take it down. Not to be outdone, he also FC'd Wolf Like Me from Guitar Hero 5 at 175% speed, which, while having much shorter strum sections, is just as fast as Soldier Side, so still some crazy shit. We also have Bo CH, who FC'd Schloss at 135% speed. Not as crazy as some of the others we've had, but definitely nothing to scoff at. Now let's jump straight off the strum train onto our usual plate thoroughfare. And what a better way to start off than with Ian, who graced our feed with an FC of 9 Patterns of Eternal Pain. This famous Shmooey reclaim has some incredibly annoying teleporting and some stupidly hard patterns that require super precise sliding to hit cleanly. Good shit, Ian. Next up, we have the return of B6 after half a year with no uploads, and it's a crazy one to boot. Sounds Like Swings 2 is a banger of an FC, both in terms of the song itself and its difficulty. A really impressive showing in what is B6's new best FC. We now head on over to South America, specifically Brazil, and its latest up-and-comer Tex, who had another crazy month. He showed off his quinting skills with an FC of Closer Underchart at 120, and also nabbed a Tech FC of the good ending, with full solos no less. Keep all the crazy shit coming, dude. Staying down south, we have William, who FC'd Godzilla by Eminem at 200% speed, a crazy feat given how scuffed the ending is even at standard speed. He also claimed FCs of Sky Armageddon by TSMB2 and Synth Wars by Schmutz. And on top of that, got the first ever Tech FC of Mortem by Pixel and TSMB2. A really nice and very overdue first ever. Next we have Ente Diasmo, who claimed a first ever Tech FC of Sydney's Fantastic Solo Original Edition, an April Fool's chart from a few years ago with some ridiculous shit crammed into its very short runtime. Finally from Brazil we have Edu, who also only got 1 FC this month with Offered Eruption, the legendary and very fun tapping gauntlet. Back up north now we have Elusive, who nabbed a very nice first ever Tech FC of Thor's Hell. This comes with the usual fun bullshit you get from a 3 custom, a very impressive first ever. Quickshot is up next with a Tech FC of Inverted 3, made all the more crazy by the fact that he standard strummed Darkness B, a crazy impressive and crazy clean FC. Ornej and Fog Saturate teamed up this month to get a co-op Tech FC of Jenny Wife 2, each taking turns to FC a section. A very fun style of accomplishment I would love to see more of in future. Back on Untalented now, who got a Tech FC of Patterns on the Planet Express 4, seemingly a popular Tech FC for top players these days and for good reason. A very tricky tech that cements Untalented's place near the top. And speaking of being near the top, we have Threa again, showcasing his progress on Apollo 21++ with a very clean -3. Hopefully we see the FC in the coming months. And on the topic of cleanliness, Captain Mario is up next with 3 accomplishments for us. Starting with the first ever Tech FC of Oil Cad Oil with some of the cleanest playing I've ever seen, as well as an FC of Patterns++, which was even cleaner and standard strummed, no less. Lastly, he dropped an old FC, a very typically Captain Mario clean sight read FC of Imperial by the Eruption offer, done at the request of Mimu. The captain never fails to impress. For a little bit more cleanliness, we have Rakshibody, who FC'd Impulse from Guitar Hero 3 with only 3 ghosts. As well as that, he FC'd Emerald Sword by Rhapsody of Fire with 0 ghosts. As usual, he continues to impress with his cleanliness. Next we have our very own Adam, who FC'd Zigman at 150% speed. A very fun short form accomplishment that he claims is filler, but is still pretty impressive. Staying on people from the PIM team, we have Crazy, who had a bunch of 6 threat FCs this month. They FC'd Pulse of the Maggots by Slipknot, and also FC'd Kissing the Shadows. On top of that, he made a correction from last month's montage, getting faster FCs of Tie Your Mother Down and Love Bites to untie the speed record and claim them for himself. Now we have South GH with 2 FCs this month. He FC'd Hell Tester by Calorix, a relatively chill consistency check that makes for a very nice FC. He also FC'd the hard chart of LXR's Inferno, another respectable tapping FC. And now, it's time for the moment you... No, I'm not going to do the fucking voice. MTN, can you, add the SpongeBob one in post, please? Carney Jared claims what is probably the most impressive FC we've ever seen. He FC'd Through the Fire and Flames at 200% speed. This really is an achievement you have to see for yourself to believe. And after a year of grinding and over 200 FCs to the solo, this is truly an overdue and well-deserved FC. Incredible work, Jared. With all the main accomplishments out of the way, let's move swiftly along and cover some of the 28 full album FCs for February. And once again, thank you to Gio for handling the research for us on this part. We start off with an album that was FC'd last episode, but with a new and unique FC. Delta Rack FC'd Act 4, Rebirth in Reprise by the Deer Hunter. But what makes this one special is that it was done on keyboard. This is possibly the longest FC of all time on keyboard, but I'm sure now that I've said that, March will have an even longer one in store. Next up we have Gio, who claimed a sight read FC of Terra Incognita by Gojira. This hour-long album was not only a sight read, but a first ever, and has some very annoying sections in it. I'm looking at you, 04. So really impressive shit. As well as that, he also nabbed a first ever FC of Attack of the Funny Monkey by Supradike, an 18-minute long album with just over 6,000 notes. This was the second last chart needed to get a community FC of the Zero Gravity Space Battle set list. Now we have Lefty God with 2 first ever full albums. He FC'd Space 1992, Rise of the Chaos Wizards by Gloryhammer, a 50-minute long album with almost 10,000 notes. On top of that, he also claimed his new best FC with Follow the Reaper by Children of Bodom. This 38-minute behemoth has just shy of 15,000 notes, and now leaves Lefty with only 2 more Bodom albums until he's FC'd all of them. Really good shit, dude. And now a new face to the full album scene, Dark Bloom FC'd Everfree by Tavi, another tribute to the first ever full album FC, which was done nearly 10 years ago now. This almost 80-minute long album has 16,000 notes, which makes it a very crazy feat for a first full album. We hope to see more from them soon. Next up we have Joss CH404, who FC'd Between the Light and Air by Cyborg Octopus. This first ever FC was the first full album chart FC'd from the newest CSC pack Zero Gravity 3D, and has just shy of 11,000 notes in it. And speaking of Zero Gravity 3D, we have Real Savage Jeff getting the second full album FC from the pack with Hypercube Necro Dimensions by Wizard Throne. This 44-minute long album has almost 18,000 notes and is jam-packed with some crazy shit. As well as that, Jeff claimed another first ever with Ultrageist's self-titled album. This half-hour long album completes the community FC of the April 2022 CSC monthly pack. Now on to montages and minitages. And we start off with yet another Brazilian community tech FC with Aurora Australis by Hypnovia, a 22-minute long tapping monster which is really fun to watch. Now first up we have You Like Strumming by St. August, which includes a couple diabolical strumming medley clips and a Holy Mountain Outro 125 FC. Definitely one worth checking out. Next we have Slide Whistle with I Can't FC Anything, an outright lie given that there is some absolutely mental stuff hidden in here. Asai came out with a rare minitage drop to his second channel with I Understand It Now, a short collection of some ridiculously clean YARG section FCs, done on the default engine of course. Another YARG minitage for this month, this time from 3 with YARG is Hard, naturally including some crazy default engine clips. And one more YARG minitage for you all with Caps Clips 13, YARG-tivation from Captain Mario. This one is the longest of the YARG ones at a whole 2 minutes in length, but packs in some of the most ridiculous gameplay I have ever seen. Moving off of YARG but staying on cleanliness, we have Elusive, who is tweaking too hard off the clips. Elusive's improvement has been crazy lately, and this minitage is an excellent showcase of that fact. Next up, we have a keyboard minitage with Chaos CH's Minitage 8. This has a couple nice speed ups and some equally crazy sections. And to close us off for montages, we have Gibtage 5, Not Very Much from South GH. Amusingly, the longest one we have for the month at just 3 minutes, this still packs in a good display of South's improvement. And finally, we make it to the YARG section for February. We'll start off with the setlist releases, of which we have 2. Wave 10 of the YARG setlist released early in the month, with 6 new songs being added. On top of that, we had a standalone song released to celebrate Valentine's Day, with Beverly by Used to Be Valentine's dropping on the 14th. As always, these are available from the launcher. Start us off as usual, we have Rakshi Boy with 2 No Ghost FCs. The FC Painkiller by Judas Priest, as well as FCing Legions of the Rising Sun by Nightmare, naturally with no ghosts. We also have our other staple name Computer Dude with 2 more Pro Keys FCs this month. He FC'd Blue by Inverse from Wave 9 of the setlist, and also FC'd Millennium Alone by Cyril the Wolf. Now for a less staple name to this segment with Random Days, who FC'd Lizards by Scott Michaud, in celebration of full album goat Brad Master's birthday. Next up, we have Fog Saturate, who came out of nowhere and is making an absolute killing of a return. He FC'd Jarvis's Revenge from Supernovae, and Racing Be Hard from Space Race. 2 absolutely mind-blowing section FCs. Not to mention his best one with Crazy Synth 135 from Misadventure. A complete demolishing of the YARG game, astounding work. And now we have Aside, dropping a crazy video to his second channel, FCing Double D Solo and Eddie Solo from Ed Trio. These were both done separately, but even on their own are 2 ridiculous section FCs on the default engine.
And I think that just about brings us to the end of my segments for this month. Thank you all for watching. As always, I've been MattJJ_, and wait, hang on. What's that?
Baby, now I got the flow. You love to me. All those times I said that I love you. You love to me. Yes, I cry. Yes, I cry. Return of the man. It is. Return of the man. Come on. Return of the man. Oh my God. You know that I've been there. Here I am. Return of the man. Once again. Return of the man. Top of the world. Return of the man. Watch my flow. You know that I've been there. Here I go.
Oh my fucking god! No fucking way, dude! Oh my fucking god!
Hello everybody, my name is Metal Hero, here to show off the console achievements of February 2025. We're back to start off with our very own Blue Bro, getting a handful of nasty accomplishments, starting off with the Drums FC of Operation Ground and Pound. Think of this as similar to the difficulty of Through the Fire and Flames on drums, but tougher overall mentally and physically to stay consistent with this chart. Next up is a Drums FC of the Way It Ends. While it's known for being one of the harder and well-known songs on GH3, the drums chart is something you shouldn't look past on, with very tough fills throughout the song and various tempo changes, causing it to be a doozy. Now onto vocals with the Vocals FC of I Want It All on GH Van Halen. I Want It All is in the top 5 hardest songs on vocals for GH Van Halen. To end off Blue Bro's tier of accomplishments this month, they got an on-disc full game FC
of Rock Band 1
on drums. Great accomplishments as usual from Blue Bro. Next, we only have a single but huge accomplishment from Sackbuild, getting a drums FC of Homecoming on Green Day Rock Band. Now you may think hearing an accomplishment from a song made by Green Day wouldn't be that challenging, but this song comes packed with blistering fast fills that slightly speed up and slow down all throughout the bridge of the song. Not only did SAC FC this, Team Suffer came through with the second ever full band FC of Homecoming. Not only did they get that insane full band FC, they managed to full game FC all of Green Day Rock Band. Amazing work from both SAC and Team Suffer. Moving over to 456 Prod, who got an on-disc full game FC of the AC/DC track pack on vocals. To give some perspective, this engine is similar to Rock Band 1's vocal engine, engine with a lot of broken talkies in most of the songs. Pair that with over half the songs being 5 minutes long. It's crazy what some people can accomplish on these games now. Fantastic work. Taking a look now at Sleepaway that managed to get a Visions FC on drums and bass. Visions is considered to be the hardest on-disc Rock Band song for bass and drums, so getting FCs on both instruments is monumental. Checking in on Subby now, who also got an FC of Visions on bass. It's unfathomable to even begin to talk about the bass FC, however, doing it on NTSC, requiring some nasty hit window abuse to even be able to hit the strumming section. It's truly astonishing. Subby also ended up getting an FC of both the AC/DC track pack as well as the on-disc full game FC of Rock Band 1. Nothing more but the usual work from Subby. Keep it up, man. Sweeping over to David NMN, who also got a Visions drums FC. This, however, being on Rock Band 4 instead. Regardless of what game or engine this is played on, the chart of Visions is nothing to look shy of, especially being paired with the quirks of how Rock Band 4 works. Great work, David. Rolling over to the Mad Lad Ace Zero, who got 3 ridiculous drums FCs this month, getting What a Horrible Night to Have a Curse on 125% speed and Run to the Hills 125% speed. Both charts are already very difficult, and slapping an extra 25% speed on there to make things even more ridiculous. For Ace's last accomplishment this month, it's quite a monumental one, getting an FC of the Violation on drums, which at this moment in time stands as the best and most difficult drums FC. This chart requires insane amount of determination, dedication, consistency, speed, and stamina. Everything basically. Words can't really describe how incredible this FC is. Truly skills that are out of this world. Now for a huge accomplishment that without PIM would probably go under the radar, with Damn These Notes getting a full game FC of both bass and vocals on Rock Band 4. One song in particular stands out the most, being Dream Genie, being terrible to play on either instrument. Not to mention that Rock Band 4 isn't the most polished game either, from lag spikes to needing occasional calibration changes. It's just not a fun time, which makes this accomplishment needing the recognition it deserves. Going over now to Peter Pushin, who got an on-disc full game FC of bass on Rock Band 3, getting Freebird as his last song that he needed for the accomplishment. A great accomplishment for a great game. Nice work from Peter. Flying over now to Nuke Issa, who got an FC of Black Sundar on Warriors of Rock, an incredibly difficult DLC song. The intro alone to the song will give you a perfect representation of why this song is so difficult, let alone how tricky the Warriors of Rock engine is itself. Great work from Nuke Issa. With our second to last accomplishment this month, Mr. Electric Nick putting in some work as usual, getting an FC of 1, both on GH3 and Metallica. Both charts and engines have their own uniqueness to them, making both of these accomplishments very notable. Wouldn't expect anything less from Nick. Good work as usual. To end this month off, Asai and J-Press attempted to get a historical accomplishment and got very close. They put their skills together to get a -1 on Trogdor, with J-Press FCing lead and Asai getting the -1 on rhythm. Now, with Pal getting a Trogdor FC on lead by itself, it's absolutely insane. But pair that with having someone play the rhythm chart as well. It's just unfathomable how close they got to this. Let's hope they can finish it off next time they cross paths in person. Actually, before we go, here's something we missed in January. Trogdor was finally FC'd on NTSC for the first time by Super Marble 94. This accomplishment was previously thought impossible due to NTSC's refresh rate being too slow to register enough strum inputs. However, thanks to a proof of concept task made by Red earlier in January, Marbler was able to pause midway through the strumming, recalibrate his game, then unpause his game to hit the rest of the strumming. This is some of the wonkiest shit I've ever seen on Guitar Hero, and I'm very glad Marbler's hard work finally paid off.
Yes! Oh my fucking god! It's done! It's fucking done! Holy shit! My cat's been looking at me like, what the fuck is going on?
Well, that's all for the console segment this month. My name's Metal Hero, and as always, see you in the next video.